You just tweezed my wang.
Welcome to Black Irish Podcast. Hey there, and welcome to an all-new episode of Black Irish Podcast with myself, Brendan McCorkle, and Mike is going down once again, Crawford. What's up, you big loser?
Big loser, you know, all those other losses don't even matter anymore. If I went on Sunday, I don't care how many times you beat me in fantasy. If I went on Sunday and get revenge for last year, you suck asses.
Cowboy. That was on my social media timeline, like Fred Warner with his arms up in the air and the Cowboys all scattered on the field from last year. It was pretty fantastic. I'll take another victory like that. We'll get to that later. We got a whole big block of playoff football to talk about. I tried some new stuff today, Mike. I ate breakfast outside.
I eat breakfast outside every time I come to California.
It was delightful. I know. I really don't do stuff like that as much as I should, and I don't know why.
Well, you live in California, you should do stuff like that all the time.
I know, but the problem with living in California all the time is you don't think to do that kind of shit.
Yeah, you don't, because you have an actual life when you're in California, like kids.
Well, not only that, but I've lived in California, Southern California specifically, my entire life. So it's not like I don't think to go eat outside on a regular basis. I'm just like, outside is awesome. That's why we live in Southern California. I don't know. It was weird, but I was just like, oh yeah, take in some sun, eat some eggs. It'll be nice. And it was delightful. Delightful.
Wait till you do it on the beach. It'll even be nicer.
Yeah, but I have to drive to the beach. Another part of the thing about the laziness and I don't like doing, I don't know.
Yeah.
I took a cold shower too. Like a 3-minute, as cold as my water will go shower.
That is absolutely disgusting.
Why is it listen, I don't care for cold showers either. This was more of a see if it does what all these researchy things say it's going to do.
I mean, it's just disgusting because a cold shower has to be free. Like, I don't even understand how you can stand in that, but okay.
It was tough. I was like, okay, how cold can the water be? Although it is like 45 degrees-ish right now in our neighborhood. Like, it's fairly cold. And so the water temperature is naturally going to be pretty cold, but I don't know, maybe 45, 50 degrees, maybe, which is pretty cold, but not super cold. And so I just, 20 minutes before the show, I was like, let me see. They say it's supposed to, wake you up and, get you firing your brain and stuff. So I'm like, let me give this a go. And so I put on Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, which is 2 minutes and 40-something seconds. And then I got in there, and I was like... it did the thing that I was like, my water's not going to be that cold. I'll be okay. And I got in and it legit took my breath away. Like, oh my, my body froze and I had to focus on my breathing. I was like,
yeah, I would never
for a second, I was like, oh man. And then I got through maybe 25, 30 seconds and I was like, and I was like, let me shut off the water. And I turned it off for 3 seconds. And I was like, no, turn it back on. You're not going to die from this, you idiot. It's just uncomfortable. So I turned it back on, and then I stayed in there for the other, 2.5 minutes. Until the song was over, and then some extra time went, and I was like, okay. Now I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like a fucking foolish idea. And the purpose of doing it, I don't know what the fucking purpose or what you read and fake learned, but it's a fucking lie.
Why?
It's a fucking lie.
Why?
Because it's a lie.
Because you don't like cold showers?
Oh, because cold showers don't give you those extra benefits. It's just fucking cold.
But it's just it's a home version of a cold plunge, basically. So that's all.
People don't do cold plunges. They just do cold plunges because they're drunk and dumb.
That's not true at all. There's
like sitting a body part in a cold tub is like, okay, you're trying to heal and shit. Taking a cold shower doesn't do that. Cold
if you do it
cold enough to actually actually give you that type of effect. So technically speaking, you're just being cold for no reason.
No, that's not true because it's a brain thing, not necessarily a body thing. It's your body it's supposed to put your body into shock so that your brain has to focus. And then once you're done and you get over that that hump that you had to, like, this feat that you had to get over, your brain is now hyper active, but does not have anything to focus on now. So it's supposed to be for exploration and creativity and all that kind of stuff. That's what it's for, Mike. It's not for your actually.
Says some sign person.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the same ones that have your fake dinosaurs all over the place. I know you in science.
Yeah,
you guys don't
the same ones that told us to take shots, and now they're telling us those same shots can kill us. Like, bro.
Yeah, not all science is great, but some science is definitely relevant, buddy. I don't think we should get rid of all of it.
I'm just saying, be careful who you listening to, buddy.
All right, well then tell me this, Mr. Wizard. When did you teach yourself how to burp?
Teach myself? I didn't teach myself how to burp.
You can't burp on command?
I can, but I didn't teach myself.
Well, obviously you can. If you could do something on command, you taught yourself or you learned how to do it.
I didn't. I just woke up one day and did it, and it happened.
I was probably like, I don't know, 7. Those are super weak.
Around that age, the first time I actually did it, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was what I did.
But I don't think it was a teacher or learn thing. It's like I heard somebody burping. I wanted to burp too.
Yeah, you figured out how to. You can teach yourself stuff, Mike. That's how I learned most of the shit I know. Figuring it out. Same way you figure out how to do the armpit farts or under back of your knee.
I didn't figure out how to snap. One day I saw somebody else snap. I tried it. It worked.
Can you do the Borat
really
snap?
Called myself.
Booyaka shot or the Ali G snap.
No.
That one hurts. Oh, well, guess what I got to do? Switching to nothing. Let's get actually into the agenda now that we've talked about nothing yet. 7 minutes in. I went to go see one of my favorite musical artists of all time, Mr. George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic last week.
Was he high?
Probably.
Always.
Dude, he came out and threw out, he was like, are you all ready to get this motherfucker started? And we're like, okay, George, it's on, baby. It was fantastic, dude. It was one of the best concerts I've been to in a decade. Only because it was that much fun. It was like, there's not a whole lot that Parliament Funkadelic can do these days, but they still went on for like 2 hours. They went on an hour and a half late, but that's fine. Nobody cared. They're supposed to... Okay, so here's the deal. They're supposed to start at 7. That's when it said show starts. Their opening band went on for about 30 minutes, but they didn't go on till like 8:15. So normally that would be somewhat of an issue. However, we were at the House of Blues in Anaheim. I'd never been to a House of Blues before. Been to a bunch of concerts, never a House of Blues. I probably should have been, but whatever. So what they did was they were playing like classic 70s club music since it's George Clinton. So everybody's just on the dance floor just dancing it out, like having a dance party for an hour and a half before whoever shows up on stage. And then there was some like hip hop metal group, which was pretty good actually. I mean, they're opening for P-Funk, so they got to be somewhat decent. And it was like they would be rocking and going and like headbanging. And
I heard somebody doing country rap last week. So yeah, they're just mixing all the genres. You're gonna have all types of shit over the next couple of days, I guess.
Hip hop and rap, or hip hop and metal have been a little bit. Ice-T has his band Body Count or whatever. Like there's
Lil Wayne been wanting to be a rock star, so
yeah, there's been crossovers before, but this one was it was one of those things where it's like sometimes the lyrics like distracted, they were like banging, head banging and rapping and it's going and then they'll like slow down out of nowhere and be like, depression is a virus, and you're like, what? No, we were just headbanging, man. You headbang through that. You don't slow it down. Come on. So that happened a couple of times, and it was like, okay, now you got to get the crowd back into it because we were all just having a good time, and then you suck the wind out of the room. So that was kind of like, okay. And then they had like maybe 20 minutes of, take down the other band's shit and put up, all the other new stuff. And then they went up for like 2 hours, 2+ hours, and rocked the house. It was fantastic. Like all the young basically the young group that replaced all the old guys are just kind of rappers now. So they just kind of come in and do all this moshing of rapping and old 70s funk music. And it was just a great fucking time, man. Parliament Funkadelic. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
It is what's up. It was one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to. And it was just random. 30 years past.
I ain't been to a concert in forever. I would never
Prime,
go to a concert again.
But, or not prime, but 30 years past when I could have probably seen him.
Yeah, I'm never going to a concert again, ever.
What if Jay-Z was in Alexandria?
I still wouldn't go. It's way too many people, bro. I know somebody who just caught COVID again for like the 5th time in Vegas this week. Like, it's just way too many people. I'm good on the COVID shit.
Yeah.
That's it. I know I'm gonna catch it. I've already caught it multiple times, so I don't need nobody fucking judging me. But I ain't just going randomly putting myself in position to keep catching this shit. Fucking shit is painful.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I was getting a little. Listen, man, I'm getting up there in age too. And thank God George had a stool on stage and was taking some breaks, because I was dancing my little heart out. So every time George took a break, I took a break. And I would just stand there and enjoy it. And then when George got up, I'm like, well, if George is up, I can do it. So then I would get my funk on again. But getting old sucks. Getting sick. That's all balls.
Yeah, I'm getting older. Shall be 39 soon.
Yeah, in less than a month.
Oof.
Are you going to shave your old balls again?
Hell no. Shave my chest, though. I definitely ain't shaving my balls again.
You're keeping it up? Keeping the chesty up?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, there will be no ball shaving, bro. Shit is itchy as fuck.
How are your armpits? My armpits stink so bad. I think I need to switch it up and maybe try and shave them or something.
They're okay. At first, it was like the hair was, but it's not growing back as fast as I like. I mean, like, I ain't saying I need an armful of hair, but I want it to be at the point where it's not growing anymore. It's like it's slowed down. Like, it's not going as fast. Maybe I'm old. Maybe my hair doesn't grow as fast as it wants to.
You just look like a chick that needs to shave her pits, is where you're at. Somebody that's like 3 days too long, and you're like, ooh, it's starting to curl.
Yeah. You can't wear clear deodorant on that.
Yeah, that's my issue. I don't know. We can get away from the gross stuff. I did something else cool. Actually, the same day that I went to Parliament, I went and saw, there's a Beastie Boys exhibit. Just a little walkthrough things. Those are kind of, those little pop-up walkthroughs are getting real popular here in LA. Just in like abandoned strip malls and warehouses and stuff. Still the greatest one ever is the Tupac Wake Me When I'm Free exhibit. It's hands down the best thing I've seen. Like face-to-face art type. One of these maneuvers. But that to be said, the Beastie Boys one is like one room of the Tupac thing. That's the entire exhibit. It's broken into like 3 sections, but it's significantly smaller. Like I only spent 45 minutes to an hour there. And in the Tupac Museum, I was there for like 3+ hours. Easy.
Oh, really?
And could easily go back.
Be in the museum.
There's a lot to see. There was a lot to see. And not really. I think you could spend a whole day in a museum and probably not take in everything.
A whole day in the museum? Yeah, I ain't spending no whole day. No day.
I'm not saying I would necessarily spend a whole day in a museum either. I'm just saying... Because, like, the Tupac one I was super into, but I was, like, there for, like, a half a day, and then I'm like, okay, let me bounce, and then if I want to come back, I'll come back. Which...
See, I'm keep stretching because I'm old, so, you know, like...
Whatever. Speaking of old, the License to Ill, can we agree that was one of the greatest debut albums of all time?
I don't even know what the fuck that is, bro.
That's the Beastie Boys' first, like, legit, not like a mixtape type thing, but their first legit.
So there's no way we could agree to that being one of the greatest.
You don't like the Beastie Boys?
I've heard a couple of songs. They were good, but I wasn't
What?
into the Beastie Boys growing up. Like, it wasn't like I was walking around with the Beastie Boys.
Well, sure. But if somebody said, hey, do you... Okay, so let me ask you.
Don't even know what a Walkman is.
Do you like the Beastie Boys?
I mean, the couple songs I listened to, yeah, they were decent. They were good songs. I don't like the Beastie Boys per se. Like I said, I've heard a couple.
From
songs.
what you've
I don't
heard,
have the Beastie Boys on my playlist.
Right? But from you have heard them, so from what you've heard,
yeah, they're good artists.
All right, fair enough. Wow, that is. I did not expect that coming from you.
You didn't expect what? That I didn't.
Well, because they're from New York.
I'm from Virginia.
I know, but you're an East Coast guy.
Yeah, to an extent.
And like they were like, I think License to Ill came out in, I don't remember. I'm not gonna do that. But like their albums were dropping in like the 90s, the 80s,
Okay.
late 80s, early 90s is when all this shit was coming out.
Yeah, I was a fucking child. You think anybody in my house would listen to the Beastie Boys?
I don't know. They're one of the few white groups that is well respected in the hip hop community.
Yeah, you understand that as you get older. But as a child, do you think about mama would listen to the Beastie Boys?
Well, I'll tell you what then. I would recommend that you
Do
go.
the Beastie Boys talk about selling crack and shit like killing people?
In Paul Revere.
No.
Yes. In one song.
Yeah, so that's probably a song that's popular amongst my community. Because otherwise, that's what they would listen to in the 80s. The 10 Crack Commandments. That's Biggie, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Nas. That's the New York rap we were getting in Virginia. Beastie Boys wasn't on that.
All right. I'm just still surprised because they're pretty beloved throughout the community. That's all.
It is. Later in life, you learn that the Beastie Boys are beloved out of the community, and you hear some of their
So
songs.
why wouldn't you revisit them now is all I'm saying.
Because I don't revisit anybody.
Okay. Well, then there you go. Stuck in my ways, Mike, making his comeback.
You know it, baby.
Is that a new hat, though?
Yes, it is.
See? So not everything. You go to the mall, that's COVID central.
Except for I can wear a mask at the mall.
You can wear a mask at a concert.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
Looking at you like you damn crazy.
No, there's a ton of people at the concert with masks
on. And you can
on.
make sure that you're not within 6 feet of anybody at the mall. Like you can control your space at the mall.
That's true. Yeah. Whatever. Fine. Don't go to the JC private concert that I'm throwing for you in Alexandria.
If it was a private concert,
it'll just be me, 20 people, and not you.
That's a controlled environment.
Yeah, but it's in a bathroom. 20 people in a bathroom. That's the only way Jay's gonna do it. The Jigga Man has his weird ways. I just gotta abide.
It's gonna be a big ass bathroom to fit 20 people.
Well, you know, Jay-Z does have some clout in the restroom community, so I'm sure we can make something happen. By the way, my theory on Kanye hating the Jews is that he can't because everybody loves the Beastie Boys. And if he does hate the Beastie Boys, then he deserves to be banished.
Kanye never hated the Jews. First of all, Kanye, was trying to get out of them contracts. And second of all, he's just an idiot. It's not about Jew hate. He's just an idiot who was trying to get people to fire him because they didn't want to do what he said. And when he asked out, they wouldn't. But you say something bad about the Jews, and they fire you.
Yeah.
As wrong crazy as he was, it was a genius idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ideas that you don't need to follow through with, though.
You're right. I can name quite a few.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Which ones you want?
I don't know any. You just said you can name quite a few. Just
Hitler
give me
trying
one.
to take over the world was a bad idea. You shouldn't have went through with. Our president trading Brittney Griner was a bad idea. You should have went through with.
Can you believe that we traded an NBA or a WNBA player for a Dr. Death type person? Like, we're saying, hey, we value one person's life more than millions of lives
that are probably going to get killed due to
you just gave them a madman back, and we just got a 7-foot broad.
That, no offense to Brittney.
No offense. Brittney, sorry, it wasn't an even trade.
You've been playing in Russia for multiple years. You know the rules. Like, you know the laws in Russia. This ain't your first time going. Like, you weren't just going to Russia on a visit and happen to have some, cannabis, hashish, or whatever it was in your bag. You were taking it there with you as a basketball player going there and you've been there before. So
because you know
the
you can't
rules.
get any there. So you bring your little
Exactly.
vapey, sneak it in your mascara thing or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
No, fuck that. They should have kept you in jail just for stupidity for trying that shit.
Well, here's
Like,
the other
Joe,
thing.
that
Here's
that
the
was
thing.
dumb. It was dumb.
It was dumb. And I really appreciate Brittney Griner as an athlete. She was amazing at Baylor. She just changed the
I think
game.
she's a great athlete, and I heard she's a decent person because I know some people who know her.
Well, here's the other
That's
thing
beside the
about
point.
that, though. She had multiple domestic disputes with her wife that kept getting out of the trouble with the league and stuff. So she also kind of has this mentality like, I'm a little bit above everybody else. You know what I mean? And
But
that's
she's
that.
been had that mentality.
I know, but that's that shit that gets her in trouble, and then we have to trade her for a nuclear arms dealer? That seems like a very unfair trade.
It was.
That's like trading Patrick
Mahomes.
Mahomes for Bill Maher.
Yeah, but the one benefit of the trade for our here president is he gets popularity.
Yeah,
And so,
great.
For him, it was worth it.
Yeah, well, we'll see how many people have to die because of it. Tell that to Ukraine.
There's probably already people who died because
I know.
Sorry to say.
It's called Ukraine. But the good news is we're giving them the money we don't have too. So that's, that makes it all better, right? I don't know.
Don't worry, they'll have a meeting next week about raising the debt ceiling. No big deal.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, by the way, inflation's back. And it's like, hey, by the way, government, you guys control inflation. Why don't you stop doing that? Stop charging us for your fucking mistakes. Oh, they will never do
but if
that.
someone hears this, they're going to want to tell us.
I don't give a fuck. Come talk to me then. God, if somebody that is as simple as me can literally read a couple of documents and see through all of the bullshit, it's a little too just like in your face. Like they're basically saying there's nothing you can do about this. And it's like, okay, I guess not. But
So
elect the guy that you like the best. I know, it's the worst. It's like, but vote. Whoa, vote on the next person that's going to screw me? This cycle will never end unless we all stop voting.
It's a never-ending cycle, brother.
Could you imagine if we could all hold together in solidarity during one straight election and nobody voted? But not in like a machine guns at the polls type of situation. That's fucking wrong. I hate all these people that are like anger tactics and shit like that, like scare tactics. That's not cool. But if everybody in solidarity was just like, yes, as a United States, we are going to not vote for anybody. What would happen to the government? I know. You're never going to ride a dinosaur. Not because it can't happen, because you don't want to. I'm just saying hypothetically.
No, it can't happen.
Why would that? It would be awesome just to see people's brains break.
Yeah, but these people are too. I would love to see that, but these people are too tied to their party. Like
I know
you couldn't get.
It's a dream, Mike. Hey, MLK Day was just the other day. I have a dream too. I have a dream that one day all these government officials will stick their head between their legs and kiss their asses goodbye. They could be banished to the island of Kanye. Who else would we banish to this island that I just made up? I'll tell you who.
I don't know.
People that
Kanye should be there.
Yeah, Kanye, the government officials that are no good, which is 98% of them. And
your boy Epstein, is he still alive?
No, somebody killed him and called it a suicide.
Oh, okay.
But what about people that place additional orders at the fast food window? Like they order, and then they drive up to the window where you get your food, and then they're like, hang on, I got another order.
That shit would piss me off, but I haven't been with somebody who's done that or behind someone who's done that, so I can't.
Oh, it's happened to me multiple times. One time at In-N-Out, when I'd already been waiting for 45 minutes, and then I had to wait another 20 for this guy to get an extra 2 bags. He did 2 extra transactions after he like
go out the line because you're like stuck in the drive-thru behind.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it was tough. That was the most recent one.
That would be a bad day for me.
What about people that name their kids after movie characters? Can we banish them?
Dude, I'm black. People name their,
I'm not. Hey, man, listen.
Their kids
that is not like a walk around racism tactic. But I will say there was a kid up the street His name was Rambo, and he was your color.
Man, they name their kids anything. Cars that they can't afford, they never had. You got more Porsches in the hood.
Porsches and Beams.
Porsche, Lexus, Bull, crazy names. Oh yeah, we got you for that. And I ain't even gonna get to the Shaniquas and the
See, that doesn't. Yeah, that's fine though. Those are unique, cool names. I'm talking about when you name your kid like Woody
or Cash.
Cash. Come on. I tried to convince one of my friends he was having a son. I was like, "Can you just name him Dash, but only on the birth certificate? Just put a line."
Or Colt, but it's not short for anything. Like you just name your kid Colt,
as in 45. Banished.
I've seen some wild names in my life.
What about people that put giant spoilers on their cars?
What's wrong with that?
They're stupid. It's just an eyesore.
They don't like three-wheelers, so.
Yeah, I think they're stupid, but the spoiler thing, it's like you're just blocking my view for no good reason. It doesn't make you faster. It doesn't make you stronger. It does make
them faster.
No, it does not. Not on the cars that it's attached to in the street in the in and out drive-through.
Well, it don't make them faster in that moment, but they probably race those cars.
No, but that's what I'm saying. When you do it to a Nissan Sentra, it doesn't matter. Mass murder those people. With a coffee can for an exhaust? Like, come on. Get out of here.
A Nissan Sentra. Okay, they're not. Like a Nissan Sentra, you should have kept.
If you don't have a bumper, you can't have a spoiler. That's a rule.
Yo, I wanted to put a spoiler on my car at one point. But then it came with this little baby, the little regular spoiler that comes.
See, listen, I shared a Toyota Corolla, and it had one of those little sporty. It was like an inch above the trunk, just to give it a little flair, so it doesn't look like an old lady car. Sure, that's delightful. It's not an eyesore. It's just a little accessory. It's like wearing a necklace. No big deal. But then you get the ones that are bigger than the trunk, and it's like, bro. You built that in your backyard. It looks like shit. It's out of plywood. I can see it.
Oh, I'll go buy one.
Yeah, no thanks on that.
It wasn't gonna be no plywood. That shit was gonna be fire.
We once built a toboggan because we live in Palmdale. There's nothing to do. We built a toboggan out of plywood and 2x4s. And then we would drag it in the street with a car and see how fast we could go up and down the street with like 3 or 4 people on it. And then we started setting it on fire and shit, doing real jackass stuff. Very dumb. Did you ever go tray surfing? No, that's a white person thing all the way. Do you know what it is?
No.
Oh, it's very dangerous and fun. It's when you go and get a bunch of fast food trays, like fast food restaurant trays. Like you go in.
I know what you're talking about. Right. I'm looking at you like that because that's like you took the fast food restaurant trays out the restaurant?
Yeah, and you take them to the parking lot, and then you take like a rope of some kind and tow it off the back of a truck or a car, and then you do it around the parking lot as if you were on.
You know the difference between white people and black people as kids?
Not getting.
You all have to make.
There's such a bad joke there.
No, like you all have to make danger for yourselves. We literally wake up and there's danger. We don't have to make any extra danger. We don't have to try to do anything to put our lives at risk. It is automatically at risk when you wake up for some different reasons.
It is kind of jacked up.
Yo, this life is not risky enough or dangerous, so I'm gonna put some restaurant place together and let a fucking car drag me down the street and see if I can survive. What?
Yeah, unfortunately, white people chose to get dragged behind vehicles and black people don't. That's one of those privileges in life that we have, and y'all got to be scared of.
That's what I was like, bro. What the? So can I tell you?
That's white privilege.
I know you smoke a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how great your memory is to this, but can you think back to the very first time you decided to go through with this? Like, what was on your mind? Like, did you stop and think?
Guess who did it once? I did it once, and then I was like, it was kind of like the driver was an idiot, and I was like, okay, I'm not really feeling this. And then literally the next person that went, they did it for so long that the bottom melted. They're plastic. They're very thin plastic. So the bottom melted on the parking lot, and then there's just became a hole in the thing, and his shoe dug in, and this dude went flying across the parking lot and was just raspberried up on one whole side of his body. I was like, yeah, y'all can keep doing that. And then the great idea to fix it. By the way, white guys, we don't stop. We just fix the problem and call that guy a bitch. Like, you just go sit down over there. Here you go. Have a beer, have whatever, cigarette, weed, whatever it was. We're in high school. And it's like, okay, the next person, don't be an idiot, man. Put 2. That way, if it wears through 1, you'll still be good. Then you'll know to jump off. It was the dumbest shit ever.
The first time, I remember I was in 11th grade. What was it, 11th grade? Yeah, this is when I moved to Pennsylvania. And I was with some dudes. And it was like 6 black dudes in the whole city. So I was hanging with like 1 or 2 of the ones that were in the city. But they hung with all white dudes. So they still were doing white shit. So, so first time we hanging out, like, yo, so we go out, we have some pizza and shit. And I'm thinking, like, what are we about to do after this? Like, you know, what's the after hangout? Is there girls involved? Like, what we doing? What the chicks say? We're like the little club. Y'all got a little local club? Nothing. Now, I did live in like this trash-ass town right outside of Scranton, so it wasn't a whole bunch of shit popping. So I'm trying to figure out what we're about to go do. And everybody jumps in their car like, yo, we're about to go do donuts. So I am fucking beside myself that this is what we're going to decide to do with our night in 16, 17 years old. And our night is what we're going to go try to get our car up on 2 wheels and spin it in a circle and see who can do that the best. Oh, hell no, my dudes. Y'all live a different life up here. Take me the fuck home, because I ain't going to spend in no parking lot. I ain't going to do that shit. I did that shit one time in my life with them, but it wasn't that night. It was a different night, and it was with the same dude. But yeah, we did that shit one time, and that's because it wasn't no preemptive shit. We happened to be riding through the parking lot, and he did a couple donuts. And I still told him, like, bro, like, no, don't do a whole bunch. And we were in the Broncos, so I felt a little bit more safe. Like,
I wouldn't. Bronco seems like it would roll easier.
Man, you talking about being up on 2 wheels doing circles, bro? Like, scariest shit of my life. Bro.
Yeah.
Scary as shit in my entire life. And y'all do this for fun? Like, this is what you choose to do.
Not only that, my best friend growing up was a race car guy. Like, legit, when he was in his early 20s, moved to North Carolina to be a race car driver. And he had the fastest car in school and all this shit. And so there was quite a few times where we nearly died. Like, no question, if one thing didn't go perfectly right to get us out of the scenario, we are launched somewhere. Going 120 on a 40 street, you know, stupid shit.
Yeah, no. That was stupid shit. And it was in Pennsylvania where it's always snow, because we were like pretty much, man, I was like, you
that's
fucking
wild.
Dummies. Like, y'all are fucking idiots, bro. Like, y'all just decide we're going to go put our life at risk for fun. For fucking fun.
That's white privilege.
It is.
I know.
Exactly is.
That's like skydiving, all these things. It's like you got to get that adrenaline rush. Y'all just go outside. Drive with your headlights off. That's an adrenaline rush.
That's an adrenaline rush. There you go. I told you about the time I was when I was out there and I had to go pick up Dal and her friend that I don't use the name on here because I don't.
Whatever. Just go with the story.
So, yeah, so I was picking up they had wanted to go get something to eat. I wanted to go to something else. I had the car. So I was coming back to pick them up. Bro, do you know I literally sat on the street within their vision for 15 minutes and not a notice me in the world? Like, they didn't even notice me. And I'm in their car. Like, I'm in their car and neither one of them noticed me. And I literally was looking like Dow in the face, like, most of the time. And I'm like, yo, that's what white privilege is right there. Just to be able to go out in the world and sit there and not have a care. Like, you don't think about nothing else is going on. You enjoy your crumpets.
Well, honestly, I think that's a little bit of stupidity on their part. If they don't notice somebody staring at them for 15 minutes in a car, that's just not being aware.
Exactly, but you don't have, like, when you're a certain life, you don't have to be aware. Like, just think about
I don't know about
like, how
that.
great it
I don't
is.
think that's smart for anybody.
You don't, but you technically speaking don't have to be aware. I guess like it's like there's never a time I leave out the house and I'm not fully aware of everything that's going on around me, bro. 'Cause I just feel the need to know what's going on
Sure.
around me.
No, it's for sure different.
And that's way different, man. I used to like be like, yo, y'all, like that's good life. But in California, I probably could have lived like that. I don't have no like, I mean, besides cop situations, but like I probably could have sat out there like them and not thought like ain't nobody bother me. Nobody even know me. I might just get randomly bothered for being black though. You never know.
Yeah, of course you will. You'll never not be randomly bothered for being black. That's not ever going to go away. That's part of the thing.
Yeah, actually,
but that's pretty much everybody's got that to a certain extent. It's just unfortunately black people seem to get it the most.
Yeah,
and then but it's like all the Asian
I haven't lived
people
through
get
a lot
it
of
fucking hard in
racism
the
stuff.
paint.
Like I've been pretty good as far as that type of stuff, like directly to me. I haven't had a whole bunch of racial situations directly. I've had a few, but not many.
Let me ask you this. Switching it all up, moving right along. Dana White's currently under fire for slapping his wife. Any coincidence?
Moving it right along. You're moving it right back to the same situation. Shit, you could have just like went full circle because it's bullshit. How much of a pass he's getting.
So Dana White slaps his wife, and a week later, John Jones returns for his heavyweight debut, vacated title shot. Just saying, it's so interesting. And then all this shit's going down with Francis Ngannou and Dana White saying like they just released him, and he's like, no man, my contract expired last year, and we just couldn't come to terms. So they're saying they released me, but we just didn't renew a contract. So, you know, it's kind of like I think Dana White's finally just kind of getting caught up too much and like he could do whatever he wants, the little Conor McGregor mentality thing. And I'm hoping that they just remove him from the fucking, like they don't need him anymore.
They're not going to remove him, and ESPN analysts have already been told, y'all can talk about it, but only to a certain extent. Yeah. So y'all don't get
he's on the no-fly zone because he brings in so much money.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, yeah. And then Stephen A. with his punk ass. And how you went in on Ray Rice and went in on other folks, and it's I just don't agree with what he did. I mean, he is my friend, so I'm not gonna be too bad on him. But yes, I just don't agree with what he did. And Dana White, you need some count. You old punk ass.
Stephen A's always been a punk.
Go on no Stephen A. tangent on here today because that.
Especially after he was just waxing on your Cowboys. I did see that headline. I'm like, oh great. Good. I don't like him anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, simply put, I don't care. I speak on it from a race perspective for that type of stuff. Honestly speaking, I don't care what color you are: white, black, brown, orange, yellow. Don't be putting your hands on a woman.
Yeah.
Especially not your wife, and you got kids, and you got to go home and explain that to them. And I don't care what your color is, I don't like how certain things are handled when it comes to race, but I mean that's just always going to be the case. But with that being said, when it comes to domestic violence, no race. No race should get away with domestic violence. None.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? But like owners and employees are gonna get treated different. Like you can't just go fire him. Sorry to say. You can't. He owns the shit.
No, he doesn't.
If he don't own it, he's the CEO in the face.
Yeah, so, he is. But he sold the UFC like 3 years ago. It was right before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit, and the deal that Dana White's like, I forget what his title is, but he's not the owner anymore. He is like the COO or whatever you want to call it. Whatever they call it, I should say.
He's in a non-fireable position or whatever.
He makes too much money for everybody to get fired is where he's at. He is at the top of the totem pole without having any of the responsibility or liability. He's just him. That's what he did. He set himself up beautifully. But that being said, he could be removed from the company and the company would still exist with all of everybody else in place. His contract would just be eliminated. But they're never going to do that.
I don't know if you have the ability to do that. You like the NFL do. Like, they can do shit, but until they sell their teams, you can't just remove them from the team. So at the end of the day, you just got to wait for them to sell shit.
Talk to Daniel Snyder.
Exactly. But I heard he's close to it, so. Even the dude with the Clippers, like he wasn't going nowhere until he found a buyer that he wanted. He
Right.
wasn't just going to be like, "Oh, I'm leaving."
Yeah,
And
he's not
y'all can
taking
sell it on your time.
a
Hell no.
20% hit on what he could sell his team for because you want him out now. He's like, yeah, I'll leave, but
All these
when the
dudes are
price
getting
is
rich.
right.
They're selling these teams for like quadruple. It's not a loss. Like a dude just sold a team for who the NFL dude. Like he sold it for like 4 or 5. It's not a loss for him
Yeah,
doing
for the
that shit. Like
Broncos or not
yeah, like he's
yeah.
a winner.
Was it?
He sold it for billions of dollars and bought it for hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
Making him give up the team is not a loss for him. It's a
No,
win.
it's just he doesn't get the adulation if they win something eventually. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or he doesn't get to continue making money off you do. But
Right.
I'll take my one lump sum. I'll take my $3 billion.
Yeah, but then what do you do with your old ass after that?
You don't need to do shit. You can
I
sit
know,
at
but
home
that's
and
the
play
point
with
is
your
if you have
balls
that
for the
much
rest of
money
your
and
life.
all you had to do that kept you going was your sports team because you're old and don't give a shit about anything
Guess
else.
what? You buy a TV that's big as a wall in your house and you watch that same team just like you did. You ain't make no decisions, your old ass. You just cut the checks. They just use your checkbook. You weren't in there like, oh man, I saw this guy play at Georgia. Yeah, we really want. No, you weren't doing that. That's what you pay people
I know,
for.
which is
You
my
were
point is why he's
enjoying
not going to care
watching
anymore.
the team.
Yeah.
So watch it with your $3 billion, buddy.
Whatever.
I would
I don't
really
think they
enjoy
care
it.
that much. All right, so
You
let's
don't
talk
think
about
they
these
care that much
games.
$3 billion?
Yeah. When you have that much money and it's like, why do I want to buy out? I could already buy whatever I want. You're only taking away the thing that I like to do. That's it. So yeah, I don't think they care
Sure,
that
but he
much.
doesn't have to stop doing it. He can just do it at home.
Never mind. Let's get to the Jags Chiefs. Jags Chiefs minus 8.5.
Oof. Jags, Chiefs.
Did you hear Trevor Lawrence's post-game interview? Like right after the game, he's like, couldn't have wrote a better script than this. You're like, yeah, I talked about that a few weeks ago, that the NFL is sports entertainment, and technically they can adjust the outcome of games, same as the wrestling industry can. Did you know that? Are you aware of that, Mike?
It is technically sports entertainment, yes.
So I looked it up in all the bylaws and stuff, and technically they can change the outcome of games if they want. Now, they would have to be super slick about it through the referees, same as the wrestling business. But legally, they are the only professional sports industry, whatever, league that technically could fix games.
NBA is the same thing. NBA is considered entertainment too. It's the same thing. All of them are considered
but
entertainment.
not in the way they file their taxes. Because it has to do with the way they file their taxes. So it's a weird thing to where it's categorized. I did it a few episodes ago. The one solo episode I did not too long ago, maybe a month ago. And it was basically...
I don't know how that works now. I know that is true because I've seen someone do a TikTok on it too.
Yeah.
But I also know that now that they have these deals with these betting companies, that would be kind of iffy. That would be...
You're acting like the NFL doesn't do iffy shit all the time.
Yeah, but the betting is a federal thing. So if you got to deal with this company that everything's gonna be on the up and up, and they're taking.
But why does it have to be on the up and up? Why can't they just be in cahoots with a company?
What you mean?
Why can't the betting sites don't necessarily care that much if the NFL's rigging games, as long as they're getting the traffic.
Betting site sells to the people that it's on the up and up.
Right, but what do they care as long as they're getting the traffic? That's what I'm saying. Does a drug dealer care what the percentage of cocaine purity is, or do they just care that they got the cocaine? That's all I'm saying.
It depends. But that all depends on where you're at, because sometimes you need the better cocaine to sell it.
Right, I understand that. But right now, where we exist in the world, nobody's caring. Everybody's betting and everybody's watching football. So if football can be rigged and betting websites could be like, hey, we don't know what's going on. We just got to deal with the NFL finally. We don't give a shit. It's one of those look the other way situations.
And everyone has to pay up a lot of fucking money. But I know for sure it's considered entertainment. I know for sure that.
So that being said, do you think the Jags are going to be able to cover with 8.5 points?
I think they're going to cover rigged or not rigged. I don't think the Chiefs defense is that good. I don't.
Yeah, the Chiefs defense has been pretty awful for a while.
Yeah. In the last couple of weeks, they've been giving up a decent amount of points. Like,
Do you think the Jags have a chance to win? Well, obviously they have a chance. Do you think they will win? Putting you on the spot.
no,
Okay.
no, but I think they'll cover.
Chiefs advance by a touchdown or less.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't even know why they play the first, I don't know, 50 minutes of the game in any Chiefs game. Just make it tie score, 10 minutes to go, and then just let them play. That's what it's going to be. One of the last two possessions is going to be Chiefs go up, cool score, field goal, Kelsey, some whatever, and then game over.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next Saturday game. So we're in alignment on that. Giants Eagles. Eagles are favored by 7.5. Jalen Hurts is back.
I'll take the Giants with the points. I think they're going to win.
Oh! Ooh, doggy. I would also take the Giants with the points, but I don't think they're going to win. I would love it if they won. Bengals Bills. Bills minus 5.5. This line has been jumping all over the place.
If you ask me who's the better team, I think the Bengals are the better team.
Me too.
With over the last couple of weeks and everything that's been going on, and the Bengals linemen getting hurt, I think the Bills are going to win.
I think the Bills win, don't cover.
That was my next question. Do they win by 6? Probably not. So I'll take Bills. I'll take Cincy with the point.
Yeah, I'll take Cincy with the points too. And my fingers are crossed that they win because I think they are the better team. I just think the Bills have a potentially high-powered offense, but they can't really run the ball. So
they can't run the ball at all.
You know, who's to say?
But they've got James Cook going a couple times this year. So,
well, and you know that Naheem Himes edition that I was telling you about? Guy's a playmaker. He's a playmaker, dude.
He's been a playmaker for them for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I told you. I'm it's the guy is too good of an athlete to not go somewhere that potent and get it done when he's got a tired defense on third down and kick returns and all this stuff. Like, he's just a dynamic dude. All right, now we've got the Mahala, whatever. Cowboys, Niners, Sunday afternoon, evening games. And it's Niners are favored by 4, which I absolutely hate that this isn't just an even pick'em game or a 1-point game. Like, that makes no sense to me. The Cowboys on all the little statty sheets are like projected to win.
What's all those statty sheets?
Lord, they have like projected percentage win probability, and it kind of goes throughout the game. Everybody pregame that I've seen, it's like a slight nudge, just slightly over 50% to Cowboys have the edge in the win probability. But the Niners are favored by 4 because it's fun to bet on the Niners right now. You good?
Yeah. You said it's fun to bet on the Niners?
I think so. I think the Niners are sexy right now because of their win streak. But if anybody watched that Cowboys game, whew, those boys look dangerous to face. I don't want to see that defense.
Yeah. No, but I don't know, man. Y'all offensive line is better than Tampa's. So we'll see how that goes. But if we can get some rush, then it'll be okay. One thing I do love is that like y'all wide receivers aren't dynamic.
Right.
Sorry to say.
No. We have Debo, who is one of the most dynamic wide receivers in the game.
He's one of the most dynamic in the game. But
the other guys just Ayuk
Ayuk lives off the play action passing game.
And Jennings has to be wide open, but he can come down with the ball.
Yeah.
But which is fine.
I'm okay
for a third receiver,
third
that's
corner
fine.
guarding Jennings. Yeah. I'm just okay. Why I said that, I'm okay with our third corner guarding Jennings. Like the new dude, Xavier Rhodes, if he gets stuck on Jennings.
Is Micah Parsons going to have to cover Kittle at all, or are they going to keep him on the line?
No. Micah Parsons ain't covering Kittle. That's Van Der Esch's job.
Okay. Van Der Esch is going to get beat a couple of times pretty bad. You know this, right?
But a lot of times we play 3 safeties, so it'll probably be Jerron Curse, honestly speaking, if he's healthy. He got hurt Sunday, so we'll see.
Well, the other thing I was going to say, Jason Peters.
Yeah, but he easily, I actually didn't like him. I actually not saying that I want to see anybody get hurt. I like the offensive line move. Like the rookie's been playing left tackle the whole.
Yeah, the fact that they just signed him because he's Jason Peters, it's like he came in late.
Well, we were hurt on the line. We had some line.
But that's what I'm saying is you needed him for a fill-in. If you don't need the fill-in anymore, then keep him on the sideline for a fill-in. Get him as good as he can.
He was doing. I mean, it was working, so that's why.
Well, he's Jason Peters, man. He's a monster.
I prefer him at guard than tackle, honestly. But he played well Sunday. But I mean, not Tyron, because Tyron's on the right side. Tyler he's played well all season, a lot better than I ever expected. So I want him to keep his job. Now in the offseason, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do because Tyron gets paid left tackle money. Are you really gonna pay him that money to play right tackle for another year? But he's at the end of his line anyway. So, but I don't want to see him play for nobody else. I think he still got some game in him.
All right. Well, let's.
And you haven't heard his name since he's been back.
Let's get to the game.
We don't have to get to the game. We know who we're picking. Everybody knows.
Well, I know that, but here's what I'm interested in the dynamic, and it's one of those things where it's going to unfold during the game, obviously, but I don't know whether to be like I think it could go really good for the 49ers and be extremely beneficial, or it might be something to where it becomes a Cowboys advantage, this kicker situation, because they just signed this Vizcaino guy who's played 3 games, kicked some field goals and extra points this year as a backup to the practice squad for your Cowboys, since your boy missed 4 extra points. But here's the thing. Where's his confidence going to be during the game? Where's the coach's confidence going to be? So on the Niners side, where it could be beneficial is if it creates some chaos to where it's like, gosh, we just don't know what we're going to do when we're at the 30-yard line or this and it's a 4th down, or if we're going for 2 all the time. Like if it creates confusion on the Cowboys side, then that's going to be beneficial for the Niners. Now, if it's something where Jerry Jones talked to Mike McCarthy and he's like, listen, man, this guy's a piece of shit. Go for 2. And anything outside of the 20, if it's 4 and 3 or less, you go for it. And if that's just the mentality that they have, then that's going to free up a lot of play calling for 3rd and 5. Maybe we don't need the whole 5. Maybe we need 4 or 3, and we can get the extra 1 or 2. It could be beneficial for the Cowboys if they're just like, fuck it, we're going for it. We know we're going for it. We got 2 plays to get this. That makes them much more dangerous.
I don't think they're going to go there unless he misses field goals in the game. I think.
What if he comes out and misses the first extra point?
Then worry about that mentality behind.
See, but that's outside of that's the part where I think it favors in the Niners. If the Cowboys have a game plan going in, like, look, from here to here, this is where we're going to let him kick, and if he misses, he's gone. If he gets it, we give him another shot. Or if it's one of those things where, I think that's beneficial for the Cowboys. Now, where I think if they make an in-game decision about it, I think that's when it's the Niners' benefit. Because then everything is going to be questioned from there on out. Whereas if they come into it with a game plan.
Decision made. If he misses early, he's not kicking anymore. He's just
but where does he kick from? Where does that start?
No kicks. There's no more kicks. We're not kicking.
What if they're on the 15-yard line and it's 4th and goal?
Then you try to score. That's it.
You don't try and kick that field goal?
No.
Ooh, see, that's where...
Unless it's the end of the game and you have to. Otherwise, no.
Could you imagine if the Cowboys didn't use them all game, don't use them all game, don't use them all game? We've got a 28-30 situation. Niners are up. 2 seconds left on the clock. from the 12-yard line, and he just misses again. And he
misses. You have to send him out there.
You have to. Yeah, of course you do. But I'm more of talking the aftermath of that. How fun that would be for a Jerry Jones Cowboys meltdown situation because of a kicker. And then that poor man, I don't know, he would have to be on, like, in care, somebody's care for a significant amount of time if he lost the game for the Cowboys. Go be with some family 24 hours a day for a few weeks till we can make sure you're good.
No,
that's a real Finkel and Einhorn situation there. If he screws it up, again.
I wouldn't wish that upon no one because that'd be a tough time. And
yeah, you're right. I just hope the Niners smash.
Huh? I hope they smash too. Some grapes and the vine.
Hey, listen. All I know is I watched the first half of that Cowboys Bucks game. And if Dak tries to pull that run bullshit across the middle with Fred Warner and Greenlaw, his ass is grass and the Niners are the lawnmower. They hit a lot harder than those Bucks that are just trying to get you down. They want contact.
Yeah, but y'all played 3-4, which is going to be really tough versus us.
It is.
Because of the two tight end sets that we use.
It is, but also if we get that pressure and make Dak make those quick throws, ain't gonna be no quick throw. Y'all gonna have to stop the running game like y'all want to run it. Oh, we're gonna run it too. I know.
That 3-4 defense is gonna have to. Baby. You better bow up. Boys.
We're gonna Bosa up on Dak's ass in the fourth quarter. That's when you're gonna see number 97 just engulf number 4. Whoosh.
You think I worry about pass rush with my tackles? I don't worry about pass rush.
Okay. Bosa's gonna have 1.5 on your boy Dak.
If you have a good tackle, I'm worried. If you don't like Vita Vea, I'm worried because the inside of our line is where on the left inside, so our center and our left guard. But anybody else, I don't worry. You can put them on an island, and I'm fine with them. Just like you are with Trent. Don't matter who's rushing against Trent.
I can't. You know what I miss that I haven't seen yet, and I'm really hoping they bust it out on maybe Van Der Esch, is that Trent Williams motion pull. Where he's coming down the line and somebody's gonna die. There's a semi-truck coming your way, and you're like, it's not fair.
We're not gonna see a lot of that side of the line this week because everyone knows, like, you don't waste your time trying to go up against Trent. We know what he is in this league.
It's like if Debo is following Trent, you just let him go. You just let him get the 1 yard.
Or you bum rush him, man. It's got to be way more of you than it is of them.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say about Trent is he is older, so if you get the first step on him, sometimes he can't recover. But usually his big paw is going to smack you across the chest and knock you back a yard till he can reposition himself, and then you're screwed anyway.
Yeah.
That man is just something I haven't seen in a long time. It's fun to watch him play.
I've always had the dream, and I know he's going to have an extra motivation for us because he's an ex-commander. So
yeah, exactly.
I know when you're a part of that rivalry, it's for life, man. So we're going to have to, figure it out. But I like our chances.
It's going to be a fun game to watch, man.
All I know is you'll know our chances early. If we can't stop the run, it's going to be an ugly day for us. If we can stop the run, I like our chances.
If we could get one of our two, like if we can get 2 touchdowns in the first half and one or both of them was off significantly run heavy drives, I think that's going to be some turmoil for you guys.
Yeah, we have to be able to stop the run. We got to be able to put the game in Brock Purdy's hands. If we can do that, I like our chances because I don't like his chances without the play action.
Yeah, we live and die by that. But the good news is we got CMC, and that helps. Same way you guys got Zeke to open it up for Dak.
This is a Tony Pollard game. This is going to be a Tony Pollard versus CMC game.
If it's Tony Pollard,
game.
That makes me more nervous than Zeke. That makes me way more nervous than Zeke.
It should. This is going to be a Tony Pollard Zeke game. I mean, Tony Pollard CMC game. I'm here to tell you.
Well,
This is gonna be that game.
well, here's the thing too that you gotta keep in the back of your head why this matchup is so fun is like Zeke is a beast still. Like people kind of, like, oh, Zeke's having downtime. Anybody would still take Zeke for the most part. Like there's 25 teams that would take Zeke as their number one running back right now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
let's not trash him too
he's had
much.
a decent year.
But
he's had a decent
here's the
year.
other thing. Elijah Mitchell is in like his third or fourth week back from coming off of IR, who was the Niners' number one running back coming into the season. So we also have a number two guy that's a number one guy. So the running game is both solid on both sides. It's just a matter of if we're going to get it done.
Is what's going to control this game. That's why I said we need to stop y'all run, and we need to be able to run it. That's it. This is playoff football, baby. This is when the metal meets the roll, baby. Let's go.
I want to see CMC and Elijah Mitchell in the backfield split back. Same way that the Cowboys should do it with Zeke and Paul. They do it sometimes. They do it better than most other.
I don't know, but CMC better make sure he got his head on a swivel because my man Wilson will be looking to take a head off. And if he don't be looking, it might be a long night for him. But
I'm going to tell you, it's going to get chippy, and there's going to be some hard hits in this game.
Oh, it is. It's going to definitely get chippy.
This is going to be one of the... And the fact that it's the last game of this divisional weekend, the culmination game, it's going to be like the game of the games. So I'm super pumped to watch. I haven't been this excited to watch a football game in quite a while. And... Well, that's not true. I went to the NFC Championship game that
weekend.
But this is just for viewing TV only. I haven't been this excited for a while. Because this is one of the more evenly matched matchups, which is sad because we have Brock Purdy and you have Dak, and I don't think I mean, you guys definitely have the better quarterback, but it doesn't faze me by much.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. You all probably have the better overall defense based on numbers, but my defense got something to prove. So we'll see you on Sunday, sir.
You got it, baby. Are you watching anything in the meantime since we have select football instead of football bonanza?
No, nothing really new. Same stuff I was been watching. What did I watch? I watched the Bling Ring thing.
Okay.
About those teams in California. That's a wild situation.
What is the Bling Ring?
So they end up making a movie about these kids who were actually like robbing celebrity houses.
Oh, yeah. I just remember when that was going down because I lived here.
Yeah, I know. And they were just talking about it. And it wasn't like no sophisticated like robbery shit. They were literally walking up to people's houses. Up in like the Hollywood, like Calabasas and shit. And people's doors were open. They would just walk in. Period. They robbed Paris's house like 5 times because she left the key under the mat. Paris had left the key under her mat, bro.
Multiple times.
No, they took it and just kept it.
Oh,
they didn't.
She didn't change the locks.
Put it back, and she didn't know. Like, what the fuck? Like, how rude do you have to be to not notice that the key under your mat is gone? Because you leave your door open so much that you ain't never going under there to look.
Oh my!
And they're stealing money. All types. No, it was wild. It's a wild thing. It's a wild situation. The fact that they can just walk through.
Was it worth watching?
They don't live in. I mean, once you know me, once I get into something, I want to.
Would you recommend other people watch it unless they're into it?
Nah.
What about Madoff? Did you finish that?
Yeah, I finished Madoff.
How was that?
I mean, Madoff's story, most people know it already, but Madoff's story is a wild.
But that one was worth watching, right?
That was worth watching to me because it was informative. But the whole time, he had a legit business 2 floors above all the shenanigans.
I love that that's your favorite part. Hide in plain sight, Mike.
Plain sight, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Elevator's broken on the 17th floor. Sorry. Don't worry about it.
There you go, bro. And it's just like, I'm saying, like, his main co-dude ended up snitching at the end. So, because he didn't want to go to jail. But it's just like all these people sitting around acting like they didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, what?
Yeah.
What the hell did y'all think was happening this whole time? That would literally be my question. So if you're going to sit here and tell me that you didn't know what was going on, what did you think was going on? You tell me.
Yeah, a lot of people are just like, well, if I don't ever try and access that part of my brain, then I don't have to be
I
liable
don't have
for
to
it.
claim it.
Yeah.
No. Hell yeah. No, that's bullshit, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, that shit.
How do we feel about Michael Jackson?
What do you mean?
Hey, I don't watch the docs, man. I don't know.
There's no legit proof of allegations against Michael. Like, we're not going to drag Michael. Michael is no longer with us, and we're not going to drag his name through the mud because he's not here to defend himself. And there's no proof of what Michael did. Madoff's in jail for what he did, so there's proof of it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's no proof of what Michael did.
Madoff took idiots' money.
Yeah,
Michael took idiots'
I'm not
children.
going to call them idiots because technically speaking, for example, right? If me and you were doing something and I can show you proof of profit and I can tell you that the people that were supposed to be regulating me give me a letter of approval that I'm doing everything okay. What part of that would make you dumb, really?
The part where it's like, hey, the first one went well. On the second one, let me give you everything I have. That's stupid. That's stupidity at its finest.
It's stupid in hindsight, but if you gave me 100,000,
you never put all your eggs in one basket. That's just the rules.
You don't. But
of course, that's what I'm doing. But that's fine.
I turned that 100 into 5. You're not going to give me 9, so I can turn it into whatever 5 times 4.
If all I have is 9, no, I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5 times my original investment, and then if you give me 5 times that, then yeah, we'll keep using the money you keep getting me. But I'm not going to keep going back into the archive and give you everything I have. That's like putting everything on 00 in roulette. It's like, yeah, if it hits, that's great, but the odds are almost insurmountable.
But it's not an if that hit situation with this because it already hit. See, there's the
But 00 doesn't hit every time. Bernie Madoff's not going to hit every time.
But he was showing them consistent.
I know, but he could convince people. That's the con, is convincing you 00's coming up.
That was the con. He was conning them. They were running downstairs. They were basically drawing up their own cells to show people that they were actually keeping these numbers. When for real, those cells were bullshit ass fake cells that they were creating on their own. There was not a history of them in like the FCC.
Yeah, they're just manufacturing what they want profit margins to be and be like, check this out. This is what your money's doing. And then all of a sudden one day, you never guess what happened. You never will guess what happened.
But that's the thing.
The boat sank. Could you believe it? The boat carrying all your money sank.
That's the thing that confused me, is that that was his way out. Why did he never do that? Why did he continue to just try to make money and get over on people? And then when shit hit the fan and people start trying to withdraw money, he would just go to the people that he made the most money for and borrow that money from them to pay people off to keep the business going, instead of using his own money or just telling everybody, your stock sank, you don't have any money. Like, what part of, like,
greed is never satisfied. If you have greed is never satisfied.
Like, that's the easy way out, though. People know this is the stock market. If you just say the stock didn't do well, it fell, and your money's gone. Like, what could they have really said to you?
I don't know.
They don't know, because if they really knew, they wouldn't be giving you their damn money, because they would look through this shit and see that it is.
You're gonna give over that. You're gonna give over $1 million and not really understand what's going on. That doesn't seem very smart to me. That's all I'm saying. But then again, I'm not that smart of a person.
And when it all said and done, all the FCC said was, "Oh, it was major oversight." Oh, fucking really?
Yeah, that's always the generic umbrella. Major oversight. Yeah. So where you should have shut down the facility completely. That is a major oversight.
The guy stole millions of dollars from people for 20 years, accumulating to hundreds of billions of dollars. And you're talking about, oh, yeah, it was just oversight. Oversight my ass. Y'all were complicit in this shit. Somebody from the FCC.
Yeah, who else has their bank accounts full or their safes in their house full of cash because of these quote-unquote major oversights?
That's what I'm saying.
You got some money under dog houses, Mike. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I definitely know what you're talking about. Oh, they definitely got that money somewhere, buddy, because I tell you now, ain't that much damn
and it's
oversight
spread all over about where you live.
Y'all can tell that shit to somebody else.
Oh,
y'all
see, Mike,
overseeing that much.
You're into all these intellectual, figure it out docu series. Not me, man. Not me. I'm sticking to my Vikings Valhalla, which is fantastic. I think that's what I'm going to go for at the gym now, the Viking. I don't know. Just why not? I don't give a shit. But then guess what else I've been watching? Because I'm a silly goose that's a dum-dum sometimes, and I love it.
So,
Roadhouse.
don't know what that
I know that you would never have seen Roadhouse. It's the whitest movie you could ever see. I'm not joking. It may be the whitest movie you'll ever see. I don't know that there's any black people in it. I don't think there are. I don't even think there's any Mexicans in it. I know there's a lot of white people in it. Mainly Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott. But it's a doozy. It's fantastic. Check it out. It's on HBO Max, I think.
What's the name of it?
Roadhouse. Maybe it's on Netflix. I don't know. But it's so trashy good. So trashy good. And so that got me thinking, as we're wrapping up this week, we could do our top 5 like anytime movies. Because Roadhouse is one of my like cheesy, it's a super cheesy, bar brawl. The whole base of the story is Patrick Swayze is like the best bar bouncer ever. So he gets paid ridiculous amounts of money to come into these shitholes, one particular in like Missouri, and clean it up and make it this palace of a club. And all he does, it's the most ridiculous thing of all time. It's just about a bouncer in like the 80s. It's fantastic. It's so good.
That sounds like a horror movie. But...
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of my go-tos. Like, I could always put it on because it's absolutely mindless and I love it. That's one of my anytime movies. Now, I don't know what your anytime...
Paper Soldiers. I got a couple of movies I can just watch anytime. I can watch Paper Soldiers anytime.
Okay.
I can watch Paid in Full anytime.
Okay.
I can watch Coming to America anytime.
Yeah.
Let me think of 2 more anytime movies.
Well, I know that...
want to know another great anytime movie?
What?
Because it can put you to sleep if you're not really paying attention, but if you're paying attention, it's fucking hilarious.
What?
Identity Theft, dog. Have you seen Identity Theft?
Is that the one with Melissa McCarthy?
Is she fat?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's her.
Yeah.
That is fucking hilarious.
And is it with Jason somebody? Jason Sudeikis?
From Ozark.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
okay. That's funny.
Not Jason Sudeikis. That's not the guy from Ozark, but yes. Jason Bateman.
Jason
Bateman and Melissa McCarthy are in Identity Thief.
I'm about to say, because Jason Sudeikis is the dude from American Pie.
No.
Isn't he?
Nope. Jason Sudeikis was married to Olivia Munn. He was on Saturday Night Live. He was in Horrible Bosses. I'm trying to say anything that you would register with you. But anyway.
I've seen Horrible Bosses, but I gotta get a picture. Go ahead.
So, I think I know your 5th. But here, I don't know if it's an anytime movie, but I know that you'll watch it anytime it comes across your screen. And that's
What's
Shawshank.
That? Shawshank Redemption.
Can you watch that anytime, or is that just a movie when it's on, you're just like, oh, I know what I'm doing?
I'll watch it anytime it comes on, but who can't watch anytime? Shank's a good movie outside of the funny shit and the fake rape shit. They goes on in the movie. Shawshank's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. It's
amazing. So is that your 5th, or do you have another one?
I'm trying to think. Anytime movie.
So while you think of your last one, so I made my top 5, no particular order, but Roadhouse is on there. Blue Streak is on there.
Blue Streak is a good, but Bad Boy will be my 5th. I can watch Bad Boy anytime, but go ahead.
Yeah, Bad Boys I can watch. See, but Bad Boys is one of those movies where if I start watching it, like I'm gonna sit down.
Gonna finish it.
Yeah, so it's not an anytime because I can't have it on in the background. Rounders is one that I can watch anytime.
Rounders is an anytime movie for you?
Yeah.
Oh, Rounders is not an anytime. If I'm like how you just said about Bad Boy. I'm like, if I cut Rounders on, I gotta watch it to the end.
You're in.
How the fuck did you forge that?
It's one of the
Have to
best
watch it.
movies. It's one of the most underrated
Exactly.
movies
Like,
I've
I don't
ever
know how
seen.
you go to sleep to round.
Because
I don't know how you
honestly,
go to sleep to round.
Because honestly, here's what I used to do, and when I lived in Sunland,
Especially when you play poker, like.
but
Like
that's the thing is that's what I'm getting to is when I lived by myself. I lived in one half of a duplex. I would get home from work, I would watch Sports Center 3 times in a row just to make sure I didn't miss anything, and like all the late games would get the updates, and by the third episode you've got all 30-minute chunks combined, and you're like, okay, I know what happened today. And then I would throw on Rounders and play Poker Stars, online poker for hours. And that's how I paid my rent. So I'd just have Rounders on in a loop in the background, just like when it was over, put it on again. And just so I was like constantly had poker on the brain. It was some stupid thing that I did when I was young.
Pay that man his money.
The Oreos. But yeah, so I mean, I've probably seen it.
It has love.
Hundreds of
it
times.
Has drama. It has Matt Damon.
Gambling, Ed Norton.
Yeah, Rounders is a very fucking good movie. If you've never seen it, go watch it.
It's a good movie, even if you don't like cards. It's a good movie. But especially if you like cards, holy shit, is it a good movie.
Brendan, do you like apples?
That's Good Will Hunting.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Crossover
Make some
episode.
movies up.
Another one that I can watch anytime, my fourth, is Die Hard with a Vengeance. The
No,
one
just
with...
for the record, Good Will Hunting is a good movie, too.
Oh, yeah, it's a great movie. Great movie. Die Hard with a Vengeance. I could always watch. Really?
Yeah. You know a movie I can always watch now that we're on the Matt Damon train? Born Ultimatum. But go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
It sounds like you're a Matt Damon fan.
I'm definitely a Matt Damon
Yeah,
fan.
he's in the Don Cheadle family. You're good there. He's Don Cheadle adjacent. They hang out together. Die Hard with a Vengeance is great. Have you seen Die Hard, the original?
No. Oh, no. I've seen Die Hard.
Do you like Die Hard, the first one?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay. Die Hard with a Vengeance is awesome because the second one, Die Hard in Canada or whatever the fuck it was, that one sucked. But Die Hard with a Vengeance is Die Hard 3, and he partners up with Samuel L. Jackson for the whole movie. And it's an action flick, but it's hilarious. So that's why it's kind of like it can go on in the background. And then Dumb and Dumber, my favorite, funniest movie ever. That I can watch any scene, anytime. And I've seen that movie probably a couple hundred times, and I could still watch it again. No problem. Anytime, anywhere.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it maybe twice, and I'll never watch it again.
That's not true. You'll watch it with me when I make you.
Oh, I mean, if you asked me to, maybe, but yeah, I wouldn't watch it on my own.
That's fair. I wouldn't anticipate you would. A couple honorable mentions for the top 5 anytime movies. Surprisingly, I wanted to put something fairly new in there. The King of Staten Island.
No clue what that is.
Pete Davidson movie. That came out a few...
I only know Pete Davidson because he was fucking that girl.
Right. And so when this movie came out, because I never watched him on SNL or anything, I never saw any of his stand-up. This was the first thing I seen about him, and I'm like, why is everybody like this pasty dude with all the tattoos? I don't get it. So I watched the movie. And it was a really good movie. It's really good. It's like disturbingly delightful. It's very dark comedy, which is very much my lane. So I enjoy that. So that's kind of a sleeper, newer pick, but The King of Staten Island, give it a shot. And then, yeah, like Shawshank or even Pirates of the Caribbean, like the original one. The first like 10 times I saw it, I'm like, this thing's going to get old and suck the next time I see it. And it was still always pretty good. So I was like, dang, I'll write this movie. And then I saw it like for the 11th time. I was like, oh, that's too much. Now this is not good. But for a while there, anytime it was on, I was like, oh, I'm watching this.
I mean, it's one of those movies, but that's way too many times to watch Pirates of the Caribbean, dog. Like,
I think so too.
Don't keep watching that. But
no, I mean, this thing came. When did Pirates come out? The original, 20 almost years ago.
I don't know. Probably old as shit.
Yeah. So when the original Pirates came out, that was just kind of like oh wow, like it was a surprise from Disney. Like this is actually a cool movie. So I think the fact that I thought it was going to be dog shit, and it was pretty good, it was like, oh, every time I watched it, I was like, oh, I kind of enjoy this a little bit more. And then it was on all the time, and it's like, yeah, this I need to get away from this movie. Kind of like an ex-girlfriend. Oh, nice to visit, but can't stay. Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Speaking of which, thank you for hanging out with us. Please go follow us on, how about Instagram? You can follow Mike at BlackIris213. You can follow me at Brendan McCorkle Comedy. You can follow us at Black Irish Pod. And be sure to do so, especially because I've got some comedy shows coming up, and I'm promoting them on there. I got one at the end of the month in Palmdale. Going home, baby. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a big show. There's like almost 40 comics there. I'm one of the headliners, so I'll be going up between like the 7 to 9 o'clock block in there, somewhere right around 8.
Okay, Mr. Palmdale.
That's right, Mr. Palmdale. I am Mr. Palmdale, motherfucker. So come see me on January 28th with a bunch of other hilarious comics.
January 28th.
January 28th, that's Saturday, from 2 p.m. to midnight at Lucky Luke's Brewing on Avenue O. Come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be there all day. We're going to have games and prizes and all kinds of funky, fun shit. I'm just going to be walking around being goofy and silly all day. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There you go, man. If you're in Cali and you can go, shout out. Go show my man some love.
Make it out to Palmdale. I'm going to come with a solid
Palmdale.
15 to 20. Blaze the house down. It'll be fun. So, in the meantime, do something or share this or do something. I don't know. Do a click of some kind. It's fun. Interact with your phone. It's your favorite person, probably. Don't you interact with your phone more than anybody else in the world?
Probably.
Yeah. So, since you're already doing it, give us a little love with a little touchy, and we'll see you next week. All right?
Yes,
be good to yourselves. Mike, I love you. I can't wait for this game. You're going to owe me your soul next week.
Why? For winning? Cool.
Whatever. That was my best Joe Pesci impression. All right. Love y'all. We got to get the fuck out of here. I love you, dude. I'll talk to you soon. I'll be texting you on Sunday. Peace.
You too, my guy.